Demon Fall Canyon is a brand new dungeon in Phase 4 of Season of Discovery. This dungeon is located in southeastern Ashenvale, but you have to do an attunement process to be able to access the dungeon. Follow our attunement guide here to be able to get in and enjoy this brand new dungeon. This whole dungeon is demon themed. It's full of level 60 to 62, 63 demons, so you're going to want to be max level to progress through this thing. In the first set of mobs, you're going to have to worry about these Fell Hunters, Devour Magic, and Mana Burn. Your healer can go rather quickly, and things like Righteous Fury can get dispelled off of you, making you lose threat as a tank. There are also AoE fears, so you want to make sure to pull every group back in a decent way so that you're not pulling multiple packs. As you make your way through the entrance of the dungeon, take a left up this ramp. This is going to bring you to the first boss. This Ancient is wandering about back and forth. You need to tag him and pull him a decent ways away so that you can constantly kite and deal with his mechanics. The boss has three main abilities. First, he summons these Treant adds. DPS need to switch over to them and tag them, as well as the tank needs to pick these up before they crush your healer. Second, he puts down these green puddles on the ground. These need to be kited out of and constantly moving the boss out of the green. Finally, occasionally he casts Gloom. This needs to be interrupted as a massive AoE damage burst. It's a long cast, but make sure you have somebody in your party that can interrupt. This boss has a decent amount of health and should take a while to take down. Once he's cleared out, continue past where he was, through all of these large infernal mobs, and then you're going to make it to Destructor's Wraith. This boss has two new abilities, Destructor's Devastation, where he's going to put a line of flames around him and then do a cleave effect around him that rushes down the two fire lines. He will do this multiple times, so you need to constantly dance around and not be too close to him. Then he's going to cast Nether Nova. This deals more damage to you the closer you are to him and has a fall off range. So he begins casting it, melee and tanks need to get away, let him cast, and then get back in. As long as you deal with these two mechanics, there's nothing too difficult about this guy. With him down, you're heading back towards the start. And at the bottom of the hill that you came up, you're going to find Zibzagob, piloting a large shredder. There are two main abilities you have to deal with in this fight. Kerosene Kick, he will launch up in the air for a moment and then come slamming down, stunning all people nearby and putting on a dot. Ranged and healers should try and keep maximum distance away so you're not affected by this ability. It happens a little bit too quickly for tanks and melee to get out reliably. Chaos Chopper is going to shoot out a spinning saw blade that moves towards the player, following them around. You just need to kite this thing around and not through other players, and players just need to avoid the flames that it leaves behind. Once the Shredder is dead, the Imp will pop out, and you just have to take him out quickly. He has no special abilities. From here, we're taking the unfollowed path that went straight forward rather than going up the ramp, and then we're hugging right and going up this side ramp around the crater. Once at the top, you'll want to stick to the left side, clearing around the outer edge and going into the barrow itself. Proceed through the barrow until you enter into this room that has the big hole in the center and drop down into it from the left side, battling the opponents below. Then follow the south exit path and you'll make your way to Pyrandus. This boss fight just involves killing the adds that spawn as quickly as possible. The adds will link damage out to all players and do constant AoE damage. You'll have an intermission phase where he'll disappear and summon multiple adds, and you'll want to burn these things down fast. Continue down the path that he was guarding, and you'll make your way to Deathoris the Seeker. This boss has four mechanics. He has a Shadow Bolt that can be interrupted, but is not a priority. He's got Veil of Shadows. This is an AoE curse that does massive damage and definitely needs to be priority target kicked. He will summon flames onto the ground that you need to kite him out of, and occasionally he's going to stun the entire party. You need to make sure you're not in flames before the stuns come out. If you get stunned inside the flames, you're definitely going to die. Just keep kiting around the room and dealing with these different effects until you're able to take him down. Then the entrance that you came in from will become a shadowy purple veil, and you can move up to and right click on to teleport to your final boss, Hellscream's Phantom. This boss has three mechanics. First, a combo that he does onto the tank. This does a lot of damage, and ideally tanks are going to want to use some kind of defensive cooldown when it begins. Healers should be ready for it and be spamming heals onto the tank to make sure to keep them up. Besides this, he's going to do a Spirit Storm that summons a ghostly version of himself that will whirlwind around an area. You need to move the group away from this, a decent distance away. Finally, he's going to fear everyone, and everyone will run wild. You want to make sure there's no possibility of you getting feared into the Spirit Storms, So that's why you want to keep him constantly quite a distance away from all of his active spirit. So this fight was not particularly hard. Nothing too difficult happened, and you should be able to take him down rather easily. With that, you've cleared out the brand new dungeon, Demonfall Canyon. I hope this guide helped you out. I'm Zesty for Zaza Games, and we'll catch you guys next time.